Sensiski. It's the same for my, received today of Professor Twack after 1 month 1 week, meth. Very very long time. Strange, I do not understand why so much time. Custom, post office. I will pay Professor Twack him directly in Bitcoin because the Starfacer was deleted my order. Thank you for trusting to my Mr. Professor Twack. Post by, Toajama. Professor Twack comes through. Speedy shipping looks just the like pic above. Nice clean burn with railed. Super. Communication I mean really super. Had to stop writing him back cause I would rather him batch orders than PM me. But thanks Twok. You are doing it. 5/5. The chat was Twok is whack, but now, TWAK is BAK. Post by, Priscilla Marie 90. I just loaded some of PTs into my pipe and I'm impressed by the quality. It is cut, the first hit was like blear, but once that passed it really has a kick. I'm about to run to town now, but I wanted to post a review before I left. Professor Twack gets a great big thumbs up from Priscilla. I'm relieved to see that our newer meth vendors are really coming through for us and picking up the slack, so far Boss Hog and PT are doing marvelously. Post by, Sensiski. Thank Mr. Professor Twack, this product receiver today is very very clean, very clear. As in the picture the same. Post by, Sick Girl. Reading these last posts have got me excited, I hope my overnight ship today so I can have a speedy tomorrow. I usually IV, has anyone with his latest batch done it this way? If so, a review would be great, legs, rush, solvent flash, etc. Post by, Toajama. Anyone try the glass from Sawmilk? Post by, Invisibleman 007. I only have experience with his, PT, and Vrooms. For me I found Vroom's meth strong, I bought 0.5, he sent me 0.8, that was my first time and I thought my head was gonna pop off and spin around on the ground. If it wasn't for my benzos I would not have fallen asleep. I did roughly the same of PTs and about 4 hours later I was yawning and actually fell asleep, without the aid of benzos or anything. 2 days later I tried again, and put twice as much in and I certainly got the desired effects. So I DK, take it with a grain of salt as I'm no pro. I'd like to try Heensberg's offerings, but since he's not posting anything guess I may sit tight and see what other offerings are out there. PT's meth is good and I don't want to seem like it's not. I just load up a little more and let the spinning begin lol. Post by, Toajama. Heensberg's gear was amazing. Post by, Risky 2. Hell ABC your mailman must be getting tired from delivering all that crystal. Maybe you should give your mailman a pipe hit next time, Haw. Post by, Hassan Bar. 4 grams of shard arrived in the mail despite all the chaos these last few weeks. You're able to smoke a bowl on your lunch break without tweaking on the job? With your luck you might want to consider purchasing a lottery ticket or 2. Smoke a bowl for me bro. Post by, Hated Patriot. I don't see how you guys smoke that shit. Tastes like Satan's taint after he took a shit, and snorted burned like a motherfucker. Go to the pharmacy, tell them you need a pack of U100, 29 gauge with the long needles. You're welcome. Post by, X8MX. Tomorrow, why do you have to be oh so far away? Should be receiving from PT by then, I'll be back with an update. In the meantime, benzos and booze, tomorrow will arrive before I know it. Post by, Hassan Bar. Well it's a hell of a lot cheaper than Tony's, also known as Opies, Fruity Pebbles or other imaginary products that will never arrive in the mail. I know that I ain't feeling no pain. P.S. I'll keep you all posted about my teeth. Post by, Oddball. I have an order with both of these vendors that's said to be shipped 11 days/7 days ago, Vortex Milkman and Dub G. I have yet to receive these orders. I'm still hoping they show up, but this many days past I doubt it. Post by, X8MX. Yeah it's cool ABC rub it right in our faces. JK, I took some Vyvanse so I'll live, hopefully tomorrow will bring a big shit. Eat and grin to my face. Post by Noodle 2420. To add my story to the Shark and Bay Chronicles, I made a blast-proof wall with a piece of 1.5-inch thick clear poly windows and 2 small hand openings. My finger might get a wee bit burnt if it went off, but that is the price you pay. I then made a 2LTR bottle purposely explode by adding twice as much lithium strips. It blew all right, but it is controlled. By the way, ether has a strong smell. And hoping to get me PTWAK grams soon. I'll let you know how it goes. Love in all the stories on the quality. Peace. Noodle. Post by Heisenberg. Bombardment complete, rearmed for next barrage. Post by X8MX. I wish I had your luck, ABC. No mail today either. I got my DCN from PT on Sunday, which still doesn't show in the system, but I know ISPS is horrible when it comes to that. I'm sure it'll be here tomorrow. Yet another day I must kill, for time remains my enemy as I fight through it to see Mr. Mailman come again. Edit, heard from PT rather quickly, the DCN I had was incorrect and all is well. I psych myself up way too much when expecting, wish I could just relax lol. Without any product to review, so far PT as a vendor has been great. Mainly in regards to communication. Okay, I'm done talking now, be easy folks. Post by Noodle 2420. 8. Oh. D. So many emotions. I just got my Prof Twok crystals and they are awesome. Best quality and packaging pretty good. Packaging much better than VMM but not quite as good as Heisenberg or Vroom Vroom. That being said, it would still take a persistent snooper to find it. I also figured out a better way to smoke. I am forever done with GUTTNG out light bulbs. Similar to the glass rose stems we can find, it is just a long thick glass shaped like a cig with it pinched on one side. Not sure what it's called, but my meth does not burn. I wasn't even sure I was getting it hot enough till the vapor came out my mouth. Sweet nectar of the gods. Oh. Peace, Noodle. Post by Optical Infinity. My twacking number showed that my twackage was going to arrive today, so I got Twok's twackage in the twok. This is absolutely on par with the best shit I've had. And I've had meth imported from Kern County. If you know your shit, this is saying a lot. I snorted 2x50 mg rails, and I feel great. My girlfriend did 1x50 mg and she also feels amazing. Professor Twok's the man. I'm serious. Post by Ecopactum. Sorry for the delay in reviews, but I had some medical stuff in the family to deal with this week. Professor Twok's package arrived Monday, on schedule. I ordered a half gram and it weighed in at 0.6 g, which was nice. Quality was awesome. Better than Vroom's pink shit, IMO. Day and half later, and it was gone. I can't do like some of you and make it last. Hopefully the 0.7 g I bought from Buster 39's Twok order comes tomorrow and he didn't just rip me off. Priscilla's pipe came today, and it was perfect. I wish I had something to smoke out of it. She is a doll. Hope everyone has been doing well since my last time on here. Eco. Post by Ecopactum. I IV'd it, and it was great. Good head ring, and a strong mouth hit, not taste, but a sensation. Nothing in the legs, but definitely a damned good chest hit, powerful and overcoming. Post by Sick Girl. Do you know much you shot? Was the mouth sensation vapors? I love a lot of the shards I have gotten on here, but none have the vapors shooting out of the lungs mouth like I used to get in the old days after doing 35 units of syrup. Post by Major Moja. My order with Dub G came in on point. A couple over, actually. I assaulted him out of the blue with an order and it proceeded in a very gentlemanly fashion. Good to see some respectful players in the Wild West of SR. On quality. I must digress that my accumulated experience with such products is very inadequate, but I will say it appeared as expected and smoked well. Desired effects were acquired. Post by Optical Infinity. Think I'll stick with Twacky. Good price on a half G, which is all I need for 2 weeks, and the quality is great. Post by, HAND2mouth. I am new to the Road and forum, but I have to post a review of WG's shit. I am an experienced drug user and part-time abuser. I took a 4-year hiatus from meth because of a new girlfriend, new town, grad school, blah blah. A month ago a back injury led to a Vicodin prescription which led to a 4-pill all-nighter. Unlike most people, Vicodin makes me tweak. That made me reminisce about good times until I was fiending for the real deal, but I lost touch with all of my contacts during my square years. I tried scoring at where the obvious places. Tranny hangouts, leather bars, pawn shops, late-night coffee shop chess matches, party and play prostitutes, with no luck. Then I joined the Road and I shit my pants when I saw the cornucopia. This is rockstar heaven. But by the time I got my coins to the Road, Vortex and Heisenberg had vanished. I placed an order with Vroom and poof. What a kick in the nuts. I was pessimistic when I placed an order for 1G with WG, but my shit arrived in 3 days domestic. The packaging is brilliant. And the shit is fire. I snorted 2 tiny bumps, took 1 hit with the pipe. There is little if any blow off. The high is smooth and euphoric and not edgy and angry like some shit can be. The 2 bumps and 1 hit knocked me on my ass. Oh my god, what have I done? Do it again. I will be placing another order with WG soon. Post by, Heisenberg. Vanished can be such a subjective word sometimes. The 3 gram is really a 3.45 single chunk, by the way, yum. Post by, Ecopactum. No, I don't know how much, I don't have a milligram scale. I would describe it as vapors, I suppose. It sort of coincides with the chest sensation. I am looking forward to the next time I encounter this situation. Post by, Buster39. No worries bro. Post by, Heisenberg. It can be done, Ninja Oh. Post by, Synergicity. Hey guys. Long-time member, new name on forum for stealth around housemates. First post in the meth room on any name, all related to the stealth thing. My experiences are much the same as yours. PTWAK is amazing, way to go on the coming back from the abyss. I really thought his meth wasn't as potent as some of the others because it seems to dry up quicker and has a less pungent flavor. I'm a vapor, but that is so not true. I guess it is more pure. Great stuff though, and he is practically a neighbor, so shipping is super fast, 2-3 days. Max. Super friendly and responsive too. Heisenberg I adore. I love the product, the packaging, the price and the persona. Long live Heisenberg. Shipping varies from 5 to 15 or so days. Worth the wait. I miss Vroom Vroom terribly. Nicest guy ever. Priscilla Marie's pipes rock, but I broke mine while cleaning it. Need to order another, currently using an essential VAP and really like it, makes great smoke and isn't too delicate for me, and if a housie catches me with it, I can call it a hash pipe. Seems like I'm missing someone, but it's not coming to me now. I want to try the store on WG, but can't bear the prices when people and product I love are around, but need to for when times get tough for sure. I sure enjoy reading your experiences, glad they finally stick it to this post. Sin. Post by, Priscilla Marie 90. AWWW thanks Synergicity. I'm sorry your pipe broke sweetie. Yesterday my sample from McGillicuddy Johns arrived and overall I am pleased with the quality. It melts clear and all, I think it's actually lasted a bit longer than what I usually have. I feel like I've been smoking the same bowl for fucking ever lol. I think someone mentioned a while back that his pics didn't look very good, but shit, it looks good to me. Of course I took my own pictures, just for you guys. So you all can be the judge. Still waiting on my second order from the professor, I hope it comes in soon. Post by, Synergicity. I love your pics Priscilla Marie, and your videos, they were very helpful to me as I started vaping a few months back. I stabbed a hole in my pipe as I was scraping it with a metal cuticle pusher, great thing to clean with, but don't push too hard. So what do you think now is the difference in the meth that seems to vaporize quickly and that which seems to last forever? PTWAKS really goes away fast, but it is great, so I know it's not pure. Post by, Priscilla Marie 90. Shit, I've done that before, lol. I used to use pipes that were so thin, I broke several of them just cleaning them with a fucking Q-tip. I don't know for sure what the difference is, to tell you the truth. I think actually the meth that seems to go on forever and ever might be more cut, so it vaporizes more slowly, but I don't really know. All I know is I'm spun and life is good. D. Post by, you will never know. I need someone to get me some gear by Saturday. I thought I had everything lined up, but unfortunately I'm not sure if I do or not. Are there any vendors that are reading this that can accommodate? It could be a quarter paper for all I care. I just need it for next week. PM me or tormail me at you'llneverknow@tormail.org. Post by, Invisibleman007. Was that the amount you loaded and smoked? That looks like an awful lot, maybe that's what I'm doing wrong, HUMMM. Post by, Priscilla Marie 90. Yup, I usually just load it with a shitload and smoke on it forever. Post by, Taos. Received my order from PT. Excellent product. Excellent packaging. Awesome all around. Post by, Hassan Isabar. Professor Twack is living proof that this cybernetic community called Silk Road really does, to use a pun, deliver. He is an outstanding dude in a drug genre not exactly known for its ethical participants. But then again, I don't think that H or Coke has really excelled in this area either. But whatever floats your boat or gets you through the night. Post by, Hassan Isabar. I've been using the same bowl for the last 5 months now, knock on wood. Just treat it gently and it will return the favor 1,000-fold. Post by, Taos. Indeed. I'm a relatively new customer to ESA and had 2 other orders cancelled previously. I suppose that's understandable, but PT was right on it. Especially after a really busy couple of weeks. Now if only I had ordered some benzos to easy my crash later. Post by, HAND2 Mouth. Whoa. Ninja Stealth. Yeah, I guess vanished is entirely subjective. MIA. Or hiding in plain sight? Depends on what one knows or doesn't know. A Heisenberg 3G chunk. Is that a tease or an offer? 'Cause I'm buying. Post by, Ketoljigdaxivin. Do you all smoke it out of a straight pipe, like a rose pipe that everyone refers to, or one with a 90-degree bend just before the bowl so that you can see your sparkly crystals melt into sweet nectar? I'm a sweet puff, 90-degree bend, kinda guy. Def gives a good view, and together with Dub's excellent crystal, I usually maintain the product very clear, almost not opaque at all, although it gets difficult when I've got more than around 70 milligrams at a time. Anyways, I think it's about time I hit up Mr. Dub for another one. Post by, Invisibleman007. About how much was that? 0.250? More less? I wanna roll like that too, so I need details, man. Post by, Freddy is dead. Man ABC 123, you go through crystal like it's going out of style. Wish I could afford your habit, haha. Post by, Lebot Barn. This is a cross-post from Vroom's review thread, but I'm putting it here as I know some of you may be interested, or relieved. As I was, to know that things are okay for him. Post by, Subtlety. Cross-post from the Professor's review thread. Hope everyone's good and spun this weekend. With all the shit going down on the road lately, strange to see things running pretty smooth over here with us meth heads. To think we get the bad rap from all those judgmental fuckers who believe the shit they're told about this drug. Anyway, smoke on, brothers and sisters, you're my favorite peeps on this road, even you fiends. Post by, Lebot Barn. /quote. Hussein, I've been thinking of trying some Eurospeed. How does it compare to Adderall? I'm bored, so I'm hoping you might be inclined to elaborate on the effects a bit more, particularly in comparison to meth. Have you ever combined the two, or any of you for that matter? That's the reason I switched to meth in the first place, although I love AD, RXs are expensive. I'll admit I like the clarity of meth and the rush, and prefer it overall, however I miss the peripheral effects of Adderall. Pooping is a blast. And it seems to ramp up my libido far more, and have never had the opportunity to try speed. I'm hesitant to order from Europe, but it seems some of the new vendors are getting it through. One thing I'm appalled by is the purity of some of the stuff offered on here. 30 to 40%. What the fuck? On a related note, the DIY SNB posts a couple pages back reminded me of an idea I had a while ago. For the price of Euro speed, if one had reasonably quality product, hypothetically, I don't believe it would take much for one to do a wash followed by simple methylation. Post by BSALT. I don't care for Europe speed IMO, it's like a Red Bull that lasts longer. I don't get a rush from it, and to be honest it just made me awake without the buzz. Post by Optical Infinity. Tox shit is super potent. Let's talk come down. Did anyone experience a harsh come down on his shit? Post by Professor Twack. Optical, I don't know about you, I always experience a harsh come down. But as with most meth, it is making through the ups and downs of a 24-hour cycle. The keys are moderate doses, good nutrition, and some rest. I've always felt that, if at all possible, you should always try to rest at least a couple hours a night, even if it is just forcing your eyes shut for 45 minutes. It can be very helpful. Of course these seems obvious to most people, but in my world it isn't a weird conversation. However, for the best 4 hours of sleep one can possibly have, take 50 milliliters of GHB. And immediately lay down and close your eyes. GHB can overtake speed and give you a full REM state like no other drug there is. Sure, it feels good to take some benzos, like I did about an hour ago, but it likely won't put you to sleep. Just make you feel like sleeping. But if used sparingly and not abused, GHB can be a very useful drug. Post by X8MX. Well, I was about to come down, but then my eyes found a nice little spot to heat up, so yeah, not quite there yet. Anyway, despite a minor shipping hiccup which PT promptly corrected, I received 2 days after ship date. I consider his batch to be overall better than the last pink batch I had from Vroom. Weight was almost on point, but too negligible to care about, considering I'm receiving illegal shit in the mail. I don't feel I have much of a right to complain about a goddamn thing, especially when the difference would never be missed. My scale may also be off. Anyway, it's good shit. I've been going all day, but now it's kill the come down with benzos and other assorted downers time. Oh, it smokes nice and recrystallizes even better, nice and clear. I'll pop back on and give an IV report once I get some sleep and go score a rig to bang it with. Oh, and PT, very nice guy, honest, straight up, no bullshit, no attitude. Definitely would order again, but I may wait a bit cause as an addict, never mind, yak. Gonna shut up now. Bottom line, good shit, good vendor, do it now. Post by Sniffers. Hello my fellow Silk Roaders. I am new vendor here at ESA and wanted to promote my meth here to get things rolling. It's powder, not crystal. Good quality, fair price. Shipping from Scandinavia, Finland. Seller name, Sniffers. Post by Labot Barn. Professor, thanks for sharing that tidbit on GHB. Might be the most useful bit of knowledge I've ever picked up in this thread. I've been curious about gram for years but never picked it up as I was under the impression that it was merely a fun substitute for alcohol and assumed it was unlikely to be more effective than benzos in terms of come downs from stims. When you say take 50 milliliters, what is the concentration? I'm assuming your 50 milliliters contains a typical dose of 2 milligrams GHB. Powder? And further, Professor, what constitutes using it sparingly in your opinion? What if, say, one works crazy hours and rarely gets more than a few hours sleep per night, some weeks more than others? Knowing they only have a few hours to make the most of sleep, Would utilizing GHB nightly constitute abuse in your opinion? I'm hoping the answer is no. I'd love to wake up genuinely refreshed, with or without stim use, on the regular. Post by Labot Barn. This interests me. Is this racemic? I've always wanted to try old school crank. If not, that's okay too. Can you comment on purity? Yay, is it cut? Have you tried shipping to USA yet? Can you reship within USA? If so, you really should consider setting that up. Many people like myself find glass, a smokable product, to be ridiculously overpriced when all I plan to do is sniff it in the end. The price is very attractive and I'd love to try your product, though for many of us in the US it doesn't make much sense to risk importing an abundant natural resource. Post by Harpua25. Vroom is some kind of benevolent sorcerer. Wow. Post by Bob Loblaw. Can anyone give a comparison of Professor Twack and Dub G? I've only ever ordered from Dub G and had nothing but amazing quality. Would be interested in how Professor Twack's compares. Post by Work for It 69. Very true indeed, I hope he makes it back soon. The one good thing that came out of my falling out with Heisenberg is that I got to try out some of the new guys. I had excellent dealings with both Flum and Dub G. Flum ordered on a Sunday night and he got it to me by Saturday. He had promised me it would arrive Friday, so he threw in a 0.5 gram to make it up to me. Now that's what I call customer service. The speed was as good or maybe a tad better than Heisenberg. Him and I spoke over PMs and I am convinced he will be the top meth dealer once he gets his personal problems sorted. Dub G ordered on a Monday and got the stuff within 7 days. He was always very professional and quick to reply. He also did something that impressed me that no other meth dealer does. He took down his listings when I was ready to buy because he was overwhelmed with orders and didn't want to keep people waiting. I know this is a very basic concept, but nobody seems to get this. Heisenberg, he went from the best to the worst dealer for me. I posted enough about what he did to me already and won't rehash. I strongly suggest you be careful when dealing with him. Also, after all his talk, he still has not sent me my meth. It's now going on 3 months. Way to run a business, you're doing one hell of a job. One good thing about my falling out with Heisenberg, I got to try some of the newer guys out and I'm glad I did. They have greater product and customer service. Post by Heisenberg. I think everyone knows you are a lie, work for it, but yeah, keep entertaining us. When you can man up and apologize, then we'll go from there. Post by Toajama. Heisenberg, just got my package. Yay, HIM amazing as always, huge shards, quick processing time and delivery that was spot on. Did I say huge shards? No dust, just chunks. He rules the road, thanks again man. Post by Sniffers. Hello. Sorry, I don't understand what racemic means, my English isn't the best. Purity, sniff. My honest opinion is that this is really good quality, awesome full body rush, no sleeping for 24 hours even. On small dosages. I have not shipped to USA yet. No reship option within USA. Post by Cacaoeths. Racemic means a mixture of stereoscopic enantiomers of a molecule. In this case, the active and inactive enantiomers of meth, specifically D-meth and L-meth. D-meth is active, L-meth is not. Post by Optical Infinity. The come down I experienced on your shit, Twok, was totally manageable. I think I made it worse when I lied down because I had a panic attack, and I put off taking care of it. I took a Valium, after a shower and went about the rest of my day, and that was about as bad as it was, a panic attack. But I have panic attacks sober. Correlation isn't causation, so we'll see next week. Either way, pop a benzo, no big deal. Post by Harpua25. I shouldn't have neglected to mention Heisenberg in my earlier post. He still has the best shit on ESA and has never done me the slightest bit wrong. Well, not since our little spat months and months ago. I got an order from him today, though, and it was, as always, top-notch. He just lacks some of the special sorcerer jujitsu that Vroom apparently casts over the postal service. Can't go wrong with either, IMO, but if you're in a huge hurry, like I usually am, Vroom always comes through faster than seemingly possible. As in about 18 hours mostly recently, and that was USPS, not FedEx. Post by Heisenberg. Watch this voodoo, the old me is back and is about to show what a force of fucking nature looks like. Post by Just 4 Drugs 2122. How does Dub G's meth stack up to local Aussie meth? I got meth off VMM and it was terrible and cut. Made me sick and shit. Is all us meth like that?